The state of Texas, a group of migrants smuggled into the country by an asylum seeker, is under arrest tonight. The smuggling of migrants, now a billion-dollar industry, according to the Department of Homeland Security, with fees typically ranging anywhere from $4,000 to $20,000 per person. Joining us now is Sheriff Thaddeus Cleveland of Terrell County in Texas. Sheriff, welcome to the Hill here on NewsNation. Appreciate it. Your deputies, they arrested a group of migrants allegedly smuggled in by someone who was seeking asylum himself. Explain what happened there, sir.
Howdy, Blake. Thanks for having me on tonight. But yeah, so the deputy that made this stop, he's actually a deputy that's funded by Governor Abbott's Operation Lone Star. So he's here because of that grant. But he was out on patrol here in Terrell County. He noticed a vehicle that had license plates for a different vehicle. He initiated his stop. He went up to the driver. Typically, the driver would run it, and he did lead him on a bit of a pursuit, but typically once the stop is made, everybody bails out. They didn't bail out for whatever reason. He walked up to the front of the car, saw 4 illegal aliens in the car, and then the driver he identified as an asylum seeker that's from the country of Venezuela.
How often does this happen?
You know, it's happening more and more. You know, I could say probably.
Why is that? Why do you suspect it happening more and more?
Well, they're being allowed in the country, and who knows how many were already criminals, but they're looking for jobs. You know, a lot of times they're not given a card to work right away. That's a process that takes place. So they're going to cities like Houston. They're getting indoctrinated into these gangs and these cartels, and they're making quick money.
What are you seeing along the border, sir? You're in a border area. I'm curious, as we broaden out here, what you're seeing right now in your backyard.
Yes, sir. And just you may not be aware, but I actually spent 26 years with United States Border Patrol, and I retired to take over as sheriff of my hometown, my home community where I grew up. And what we have here, the activity we have here in Terrell County, we're nestled in between Del Rio and El Paso, Texas. That's about a 600-mile swath of border. We're the busiest station and have historically been the busiest station. But the type of activity we see here aren't people that you see in Eagle Pass, El Paso, Lukeville, Arizona, or San Diego seeking asylum or other political relief. What we have here are people that are crossing over from Mexico, and they're wanting to sneak across. When you encounter them in the field, they run, or if we interdict them on the highway, they lead us into those high-speed pursuits.
Has Washington been helpful?
Not at all. And I like to say, look, I was hired under the Clinton administration. I worked for President Clinton to President Bush to President Obama to President Trump, and a year and some change of President Biden. With those first 4 administrations, they all furthered border security. They all hired more agents. They all hired or put in more technology and more infrastructure. This current administration isn't doing any of that. I'm not sure what they're doing other than allowing people to come in our border. But this president and this administration spends more time fighting Governor Abbott than fighting the cartels.
Do you blame at all Congress for not passing the border bill that was negotiated at one point in time?
Hey, I'll tell you what, if you go back further, H.R. 2 was a bill passed by Congress and not accepted in the Senate. It actually was what is needed here along the border. And it dealt, you know, it wasn't an end-all, but it dealt with asylum seekers. It either said we have them remain in Mexico or we incarcerate them. Those are two actions that would solve what's going on in those places I named earlier. But the Senate bill, when you start talking about having 5,000 aliens a day, and then we want to shut down the border. Look, when we had similar situations in Arizona, and I'll get it out quickly to you. Sure. When you start putting thresholds, the assistant U.S. attorneys would put 500 pounds on marijuana, 20 illegal aliens in the smuggling load. What did the cartels do? They would smuggle 499 pounds of marijuana or 19 people in a smuggling load to avoid those thresholds. That bill was a no-go.
All right. Sheriff Cleveland, nice to talk to you, sir, and best of luck down there in Texas. Sheriff Cleveland from Terrell County. Have a good one, sir.